It is 3 a.m. The house is silent. The world is asleep. But you are not. You are sitting on the edge of your bed, feet on the cold floor, dreading the walk down the dark hallway to the bathroom for the third time tonight. You are exhausted. Your eyes burn. You just want to get a solid block of rest, but your body won't let you. You lie back down, you finally drift off, and 2 hours later, the urge wakes you up again. It feels like a curse. You probably tell yourself, well, I'm getting older. My bladder is shrinking. It's my prostate. It's just what happens. You blame the organ that is screaming at you, the bladder. But what if I told you that your bladder is actually innocent? What if I told you that the reason you are waking up 3, 4, or 5 times a night has nothing to do with your urinary tract and everything to do with your legs? Today we are going to solve a mystery that plagues millions of people over the age of 60. We are going to talk about a condition called nocturia, which is the medical term for excessive nighttime urination. But we are going to look at it through a lens that most doctors don't have time to explain to you. We are going to talk about gravity, fluid dynamics, and a phenomenon called fluid redistribution. We are going to explain why your body decides to turn into a water manufacturing plant the moment you turn off the lights. And most importantly, I am going to give you a simple, cost-free physical maneuver, a specific way to position your body 1 hour before bed, that can trick your kidneys, drain the fluid early, and buy you the 6 or 7 hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep you are desperate for. By the end of this video, you will understand your own plumbing better than you ever have, and you might just be able to say goodbye to the 3 a.m. bathroom trip forever. To understand why this happens, we have to look at your day. Think about what you do. You are upright. You are walking, standing, sitting in a chair, or driving. For 12 to 16 hours, you are fighting gravity. Your heart is a pump, and it pushes blood down to your toes easily because gravity helps it. But getting that blood back up, that is the hard part. The veins in your legs have to push blood uphill, against gravity, all the way back to your heart. To do this, they rely on tiny little one-way valves inside the veins that snap shut to prevent the blood from falling back down. When we are 20, those valves are tight and snappy. But as we enter our 60s and 70s, those valves can become a little loose. They don't seal perfectly. The walls of the veins become a little stretched. This is called venous insufficiency. It is not necessarily a disease, it is often just wear and tear. Because the system isn't perfect, fluid, specifically water and plasma, leaks out of the veins and into the surrounding tissue. It seeps into the muscle, the skin, and the fat of your lower legs. This is why, if you look at your ankles in the evening, they might look a little puffier than they did in the morning. You might notice your socks leave a ring. You might not even see severe swelling, but the fluid is there. It is hiding in the tissue. Think of your legs as 2 giant sponges. All day long, while you are standing and sitting, those sponges are slowly soaking up water. They are holding on to it. This fluid is trapped in the lower half of your body by the sheer force of gravity. Your kidneys, which are the filters of the blood, don't even know this fluid exists because it isn't in the bloodstream anymore, it is stuck in the tissue. So, you go through your day, you drink your coffee, you drink your water, and you feel fine. Then, the magic, and the tragedy, happens. You go to bed. You put on your pajamas, you crawl under the covers, and you lay flat. Horizontal. In that moment, you have changed the laws of physics acting on your body. You have neutralized gravity. Suddenly, your legs are on the same level as your heart and your kidneys. The fluid that was trapped in your ankles and calves is no longer being pulled down. It is free. Slowly, over the first hour or 2 of sleep, that fluid drains out of the sponges of your legs and re-enters your bloodstream. It rushes back into the veins and travels to your torso. Now, your circulatory system is suddenly flooded with all this extra water that was hiding in your legs all day. Your heart senses this increase in volume. It says, "Whoa, we have too much liquid in the system." We need to lower the pressure. So, it sends a signal to your kidneys. It tells the kidneys, get to work. Filter this out. Dump the excess water. Your kidneys obey. They start processing this flood of fluid at high speed. They turn it into urine. And where does that urine go? It fills your bladder. Fast. This is why you can go to the bathroom right before bed, empty your bladder completely, and then wake up 2 hours later with a bladder that is bursting full. You didn't drink a gallon of water before bed. That water came from your own legs. You are literally peeing out your swollen ankles. This is the mechanism of fluid redistribution. It is not a bladder problem, it is a volume management problem. Your bladder is just the victim doing its job of holding what the kidneys are sending it. This cycle is incredibly destructive to your health, and we need to talk about why stopping it is about more than just convenience. It is about your brain. When you sleep, your brain goes through a cleaning process. It is called the glymphatic system. It washes away the plaque, the toxins, and the metabolic waste that accumulates during the day, the same waste that is linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. This cleaning process only kicks into high gear during deep, slow-wave sleep. If you are waking up every 2 hours to pee, you never stay in deep sleep long enough for the cleaning crew to finish the job. You are interrupting the brain's wash cycle. This is why chronic nocturia is linked to memory loss, brain fog, and cognitive decline. You are not just tired, you are toxic. Furthermore, the risk of falls is massive. The walk to the bathroom in the dark is statistically one of the most dangerous walks a senior takes. You are groggy. Your blood pressure might be low from standing up too fast. You might trip on a rug. A hip fracture from a nighttime bathroom trip is a life-altering event. By solving the fluid issue, we keep you in bed, which keeps you safe. So, what is the solution? How do we stop the sponges from draining into the bladder in the middle of the night? The answer is simple physics: we have to drain the sponges before we go to sleep. We have to force that fluid out of the legs and into the bladder while we are still awake, so we can get rid of it before the lights go out. I want to introduce you to the 60-minute leg elevation rule. This is a strategy you need to build into your evening routine. It is very specific. It is not just sitting in a recliner. Sitting in a recliner often doesn't work because your hips are bent and your feet aren't high enough. To do this right, you need to lie down on the floor or on your bed about 1 hour before your actual bedtime. You need to prop your legs up so that your feet are physically higher than the level of your heart. This feet above heart position is the key. When your feet are higher than your heart, gravity now works for you, not against you. It pulls the fluid out of the calves and ankles and rushes it toward the kidneys. If you do this for 30 to 45 minutes while you are reading a book, watching the news, or scrolling on your tablet, you will trigger that kidney response while you are awake. You will find that during this hour, you will probably have to go to the bathroom once or twice. That is a victory. That is the urine that would have woken you up at 2 a.m. You are purging the tank. After you have elevated your legs and emptied your bladder, then you go to sleep for the night. You have effectively dehydrated your legs so they can't sabotage your sleep. But there is more to the puzzle than just elevation. We have to look at what you are putting into the tank. We have to talk about salt. Sodium is a magnet for water. Where salt goes, water follows. If you eat a high-sodium dinner, maybe some canned soup, a slice of pizza, or a frozen meal, your body holds onto fluid to dilute that salt. It holds that fluid in your legs. Then, at night, when you process that salt, you have to pee out the water. For the 60-plus demographic in America, hidden salt is a major enemy. We think we are eating healthy because we don't use the salt shaker. But the salt is in the bread. It is in the salad dressing. It is in the deli meat. It is in the cottage cheese. If you are struggling with nighttime urination, try to make your dinner the lowest sodium meal of the day. Eat fresh vegetables, fresh meat, rice. Avoid the processed, boxed, and canned foods at night. If you reduce the salt, the sponges in your legs won't hold as much water. There will be less to drain. Another powerful tool is compression socks. I know, nobody likes putting them on. They are tight, they are a struggle, they are hot. But think of them as an external muscle. If you put on knee-high compression socks in the morning, right when you get out of bed, you are physically preventing the fluid from pooling in the first place. The socks squeeze the tissue. They don't give the fluid any room to hide. If the fluid can't settle in your legs during the day, it won't be there to drain out at night. You take the socks off an hour before bed, do your leg elevation, and you will find your bladder is much quieter. It is a mechanical solution to a mechanical problem. We also need to discuss the timing of your fluids. Many seniors are chronically dehydrated because they are afraid to drink water, thinking it will make them pee. This is a mistake. Dehydration irritates the bladder. Concentrated urine is acidic and irritating, which makes the bladder spasm and makes you feel like you have to go even when you don't. You need to drink water. But you need to front-load your hydration. Drink your water in the morning and the early afternoon. Hydrate well until about 4 o'clock or 5 p.m. Then, taper off. Don't sit there drinking a giant mug of herbal tea at 9 p.m. while watching a movie. That tea is going straight to your bladder at midnight. Stop the fluid intake 3 hours before bed. But make sure you drink enough earlier in the day so you aren't dehydrated. There is another hidden culprit we must address, one that mimics this fluid problem perfectly. It is sleep apnea. This is crucial for anyone who snores or wakes up gasping. When you have sleep apnea, your throat closes while you sleep. You stop breathing. Your oxygen drops. Your body panics. Your heart starts beating harder to pump what little oxygen it has. This stress stretches the heart muscle. When the heart muscle stretches, it releases a specific hormone called ANP, atrial natriuretic peptide. This hormone tells the kidneys, dump water. Lower the blood volume. We are under stress. So, you wake up needing to pee desperately. You think, I woke up because I had to pee. But the reality is, you had to pee because you stopped breathing. If you elevate your legs and cut the salt and still wake up 4 times a night, please ask your doctor for a sleep study. Treating the apnea with a CPAP machine often cures the nighttime urination instantly because the heart stops sending that panic signal. Let's talk about the specific technique of leg elevation again because people often get it wrong. You cannot just put your feet on a footstool. If your feet are on a footstool, they are still below your heart. The fluid has to climb uphill to get to your kidneys. It won't work well. You need to lie flat on the couch and put your legs up on the armrest, or lie on the floor with your legs up on the seat of the chair. Or, use a wedge pillow in bed. You want a distinct slope downwards from your heels to your hips to your heart. Gravity needs a slide, not a staircase. Also, look at your medications. Many of us take blood pressure pills. Some of these are diuretics, water pills, like hydrochlorothiazide or furosemide. They are designed to make you pee. If you take your water pill at 6 p.m. or with dinner, you are guaranteeing a sleepless night. Ask your doctor if you can take your diuretic first thing in the morning. Let it do its work while you are awake. Most doctors are happy to make this switch, but they might not think to mention it unless you ask. Now, I want to clarify when you should be worried. Nighttime urination is common, but it can be a sign of other things. If the swelling in your legs is not symmetrical, if one leg is huge and the other is normal, that is not fluid retention, that could be a blood clot. That is an emergency. If your nighttime urination is accompanied by a burning sensation, that is an infection. If you are thirsty all the time, insatiably thirsty, that could be undiagnosed diabetes. High blood sugar acts like a diuretic, pulling water out of your body. So, while the fluid retention theory covers the majority of cases, always listen to the other signals your body is sending. There is a psychological element to this as well. We call it bladder anxiety. You wake up, and maybe you don't really have to go that bad, but you think, well, I'm awake, I might as well try, so I don't have to get up later. You are training your bladder to hold less. You are training it to be sensitive. If you wake up and the urge is mild, try to go back to sleep. Try to stretch the intervals. But don't do this if it causes pain. The goal is to break the habit of, just in case, peeing. Let's visualize the perfect evening routine for a dry night. It is 5 p.m. You have your last big glass of water for the day. You have a dinner that is low in salt, maybe grilled chicken and a salad with oil and vinegar, skipping the salty bread. It is 7 p.m. You take a little walk. The movement of your calf muscles helps pump some fluid out of your legs naturally. The calf muscle is often called the second heart, because every time you step, it squeezes the veins and shoots blood up. Walking is natural drainage. It is 8:30 p.m., assuming you sleep at 10. You get on the floor or the sofa. You put your legs up high. You relax. You watch your show. You feel the gravity working. It is 9:15 p.m. You get up. You will likely have to use the bathroom. This is the fluid that was in your ankles. It is 10 p.m. You use the bathroom one last time. You go to bed. By doing this, you have removed the fuel from the fire. You have emptied the tank. I also want to mention the role of sugar. We talked about salt, but sugar causes inflammation. Inflammation causes water retention. If you eat a bowl of ice cream before bed, you are hitting your body with sugar and fluid. The insulin spike can also mess with your kidney's ability to regulate sodium. If you want a snack, make it something dry and low sugar. A handful of walnuts. A piece of cheese. Don't load up on fruit or sweets right before sleep. Think about the quality of life improvement here. Imagine waking up at 6 a.m. naturally. Imagine remembering your dreams because you actually had them. Imagine having the energy to garden, to play with your grandkids, to drive without feeling drowsy. Sleep is the foundation of health. When you fracture your sleep, you fracture your health. Fixing this one problem, the nighttime pee, can lower your blood pressure, improve your mood, and protect your heart. It is easy to feel helpless as we age. It is easy to feel like our bodies are betraying us. But often, it is just a misunderstanding. Your body isn't betraying you, it is following the laws of physics. It is dealing with gravity and loose valves the best way it knows how. It is trying to help you by dumping that fluid when it finally gets the chance, when you lie down. You just have to outsmart it. You have to work with the physics. I want you to try this tonight. It costs nothing. You don't need a prescription. Just grab a couple of pillows or use the arm of your sofa. Get those feet up. Commit to the process. It might take a few nights to see the full difference as your body adjusts, but the science is sound. The fluid has to go somewhere. You get to decide when it goes. If you have a spouse who is waking you up getting in and out of bed, share this with them. Do it together. Legs up time can be a time to talk, to relax, to decompress. Make it a ritual. We need more healthy rituals in our lives. One final note on the heart. If you try this, and you find that you absolutely cannot lie flat or with your legs up because you can't breathe, if you feel like you are drowning when you lie down, that is a major red flag for congestive heart failure. That means the fluid is backing up into your lungs, not just your bladder. If you have that symptom, you do not elevate your legs, you call your doctor immediately. That is a different mechanism. But for the vast majority of you who just have puffy ankles and a busy bladder, the leg elevation is the golden ticket. You are the manager of your own health. You know your body better than anyone. Pay attention to the swelling. Pay attention to the salt. Pay attention to the timing. You don't have to accept exhaustion as the price of aging. You can reclaim the night. You can reclaim your sleep. So, tonight, when you look at that comfortable chair, think about gravity. Think about the water tank in your legs. And turn your world upside down for an hour. Let the fluid drain. Let the bladder empty. And then, close your eyes and enjoy the deep, peaceful rest you have earned. Thank you for listening, and sweet dreams.